Good morning. Happy Sunday to all the ALC kiddos. Welcome to Children's Time. We're just going to dive right in today and get started on our story. If you can see, I'm actually filming in my office today. Um, just another little change of scenery for you guys. I don't want you to get bored with the same background, although you can see how messy my office is, so that's not always good. But anyway, we'll get started on our story today. We're still going in, working through the Old Testament. We're doing more of the Old Testament Easter uh, stories instead of the New Testament. And I guess I wouldn't call these Easter stories, but they are stories that we usually hit on during Easter if we're not talking about the normal Easter stories, which is Palm Sunday and um, the Last Supper and Jesus's washing of the disciples' feet. We'll probably start doing those next week. I'm thinking we'll get into those. So, anyway, today's story is out of Exodus and it has to do with Moses. And you guys probably have heard this story a few times. It's called the Ten Commandments. So, most of you know what those are, or some of them anyway. I doubt everybody knows what all of them are. We should know what all of them are, but I don't even think I could name all of them without looking. So anyway, if you have a Spark Bible, our story is on page 94, and again, it's the 10 Commandments, and here is our picture for today. So we have Moses standing on the mountainside, and here are all the Israelites down below, and they're looking a little frightened. Even Squiggles is looking a little frightened. And I think we have a storm going up here, but I think that might be God talking to Moses. But we'll find out as we read if that's what that is. And I am in my office today, so look who I have with me. I've got my little Squiggles. I usually forget him when I go upstairs. He sits on my desk, but I have him here on my desk, so he is with me. So I've got him right here, and I'm just going to set him off to the side while I read. All right, the 10 Commandments. The Israelites were on their way to the land God had promised them. It was a long way. With God watching over them, the men, women, and children walked and walked and walked over the hot, dry land. When they got tired and needed rest, they would set up tents and camp together under the stars. While they were camping at the bottom of a mountain called Mount Sinai, something incredible happened. On the morning of the third day that they were there, a dark cloud covered the mountain. Crash! Boom! Bang! Lightning and thunder filled the sky. The people were afraid. Suddenly, the voice of God called Moses. God asked Moses to climb to the top of the mountain. So Moses grabbed his walking stick and climbed up, up, up. So that stormy cloud was the voice of God. And here's Moses going up, 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 and he has to get up into these dark clouds to find out what God has to tell him. When he got to the top of the mountain, God spoke. God said, Moses, listen up. I have important rules for you and the people to live by. You can turn to this list to know how to love God and each other. Do your best to follow this list. It won't be easy, but I am with you and I love you. Then God gave Moses a list of 10 special rules called the commandments. They were 1. I am God, the only God. Honor me above all things and all people. 2. There are no other gods for you, only me. 3. My name is special. Don't use it with bad words or mean talk. 4. Take a day of rest each week. Call it the Sabbath and make it a special day for God. 5. Show your mom, dad, and others who take care of you love and respect. 6. Don't hurt others with your words or actions. 7. If you get married, you must be loyal to your husband and wife. 8. Don't take things that aren't yours. 9. Tell only the truth about your family, friends, and even those you don't know. And 10, be happy with what you have. Don't wish for things that other people have. And with that, the dark cloud went away. Moses walked down, down, down the mountain. The people were still scared from the dark clouds and thunder. But Moses said, "Don't be afraid. God has given us special rules to teach us how to live together in peace." Moses told the people about God's rules, and they did their best to follow them. And it says on my star note, which of the 10 commandments is the most difficult for you to follow? Why is that? I don't know which one would be the hardest for me to follow. I would say probably for me, it would be, and this one's probably for a lot of people, because we always are seeing things that we wish we had and we don't, that other people have. So I think for me, the hardest one to follow would be happy with what you have and don't wish for things that other people have. So if you see somebody that has a really cool bike or a really cool video game and you don't have it and you're like, oh, I wish I had that. Um, God's telling us that we need to be happy with what we have and not wish for those things that we don't have. So that one for me would be the hardest. And here I want to show you this picture. Here's Moses. And these are the tablets that God gave him that have those 10 rules written on them. And here's the people. They're still kind of looking a little scared, just like it said of the clouds and the thunder. But Moses is saying, don't be afraid. God gave us some rules to help us to live together and love each other and be in peace with each other. So that was a good story. And it's good to have some rules to listen to and help us live happy and healthy lives. All right, so today for our activities, I've got my Spark workbook, and this is the Old Testament adventures. And on the front, we've got Moses on the very front, and this is another part of Moses' story, but the 10 Commandments come after the plagues and when he gets the Israelites out of Egypt and away from the Pharaoh. So our story, the Israelites have gotten away from the Egyptians and they are traveling, and it's a long, long ways for them to go. And they were in the desert walking to try to get to the promised land for 40 years. So it was a really long time. And here is a map. And if you can see that, up here is where they started in Egypt. And you can see the little arrow where they started. And they went down, 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 and they walked all the way down. And down at the very tip of this peninsula is Mount Sinai. And that is where Moses went up on the mountain and went up, up, up and talked to God. And God gave him the 10 Commandments on the tablets. And so here's our 10 Commandments and on our tablets. And I'll read them again just so we can refresh. But it says, the first one is honor God above all others. Do not make idols. There are no other gods for you, only me. So that means we shouldn't worship or put things above God. God is the only God that we need to worship. Keep God's name special. So we don't want to say God's name in a bad way or use it in a mean way or with bad words. The next one is make the Sabbath special. So the Sabbath is the holy day or Sunday. So that's the day that we go to church. And that's usually a day of rest. We're not working. What people usually do is just go to church and they rest. The next one is love and respect your parents and caregivers. And that's not only your parents, but also your teachers, bus drivers, people that are older than you, adults. It's just saying that you should be respectful of them and treat them kindly. The next one is don't hurt others with your words or actions. And that one should be pretty self-explanatory. We don't want to be mean, call people names. We don't want to hit or throw things at people. So we want to treat people with love and respect. Be loyal to your husband or wife. So when you get older, if you get married, that just means you need to love your husband or love your wife, and treat them with respect and be kind to them as well. Don't take things that aren't yours. So don't steal. If you want something that someone else has, you need to wait till they're done or ask their permission if you can use it while they're not using it. Tell the truth. So we don't want to tell lies or make up stories. We always want to tell the truth. And the last one is be happy with what you have. And that was the one I said would be hardest for me, to not kind of want a nicer car or a nicer house. Just be happy with what you've been blessed with. So after they got those 10 Commandments, they went up, 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 and then they could do this big circle wandering around in the desert. And they come back down to where they started, and then they finally go up, 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 and they make it to the promised land. So they traveled a long, long way. When you're on foot, that was a really hard and long and hot journey. So for 40 years, those people really worked hard to get to their promised land, but God gave them these rules to help them get through it and to be together. All right, for our last activity, or for the activity that I want you guys to do after you get off the computer watching me, is so when God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, they were actually carved into two big tablets. And basically, a tablet is just a big piece of rock that is kind of flat. And you kind of see like they have them drawn up here. And they would actually carve the letters into the rock, because they didn't have pencils or pens or markers like we do today. But we're not going to do that. But I do want you guys to make your own tablets. And I want you to basically to just go outside and find a couple of nice, smooth, flat rocks. And I have a couple here. And I want you to pick maybe like, you don't have to do 10. If you want to do all 10, you can. Otherwise, I just want you to pick maybe 2 or 3, and kind of wash them off. Make sure there's no mud or dirt. And I want you to pick your um, favorite commandment, and then maybe a couple others that would be your next favorites. And like I said, if you want to do all 10, go ahead and do all 10. But I want you to take your rocks, clean them off, and then I want you to write the commandments that you pick on the back of your rocks. So I picked don't tell the I'm sorry, don't tell the truth. That's not right. I picked tell the truth. I wrote that on one, and my other one I put honor God above all others. So on the back side, I want you to write your commandment. And on the other side, I want you to decorate your rocks however you want to decorate them. So these both just have polka dots on them. And I just used acrylic paints. You could use markers. You could probably even use colored pencils. Just something that you can color on the rock with and make it pretty on one side, and then put your commandments on the other. And then you can put these in your room, or you can put them outside, like if you have a garden bed or a flower bed, just lay them out there, and you'll have those commandments to remember. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy, huh? You guys can do this. So go ahead and do that for your craft. And it's supposed to be nice out for a while. So you guys can go out and find some rocks and paint them and decorate them and list the commandments on there. And here's my squiggles. And he says he will see you guys next week. But don't forget to pray. So we have to pray before we end our little video today. So go ahead and make your praying hands. I have a real short prayer today. And after that, I'll let you go. All right. I'm going to just do regular praying hands today. All right. You guys ready? God, help us to live together in peace at home and away from home. Amen. All right, you guys. As always, it's so wonderful to see you, and I hope you have a good week. And it's spring break, so have fun. I hope you guys are doing some fun things. maybe even going on some vacation. If not, I hope you guys get outside and enjoy the good weather, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.